There's been more than one situation or event when I've actually been touched here. The one day I was in the laundry room and I was taking clothes out of the dryer, putting them in the basket and putting clothes from the washer into the dryer. And it was in the morning and I still had my robe on, and something actually grabbed a hold of the back of my robe and tugged it like 2 or 3 times. Very direct. I mean, I knew that somebody was there, and I came flying out of there because I turned around and I had actually thought it was my son, and I turned around and nobody was there. There's many times we'll be sitting either in the basement or on the first floor, and we'll hear footsteps, and we're all accounted for and no one's there, and we just look at each other and hope that my son's not hearing the same thing. My son and I were sitting in the living room the other night, and we heard somebody walking upstairs, and I just mentioned that it was probably one of the dogs, and he just looked at me and said, "Mama, the dogs are all laying here." And it's to the point now where trying to protect him is a fine line between trying to protect him and trying not to lie to him, because he's seeing things at this point and I don't know how to handle it. On a daily basis, there is a noise in the master bedroom that will wake you out of a dead sleep, and it sounds actually like a huge cannonball coming through the roof of the master bedroom. And it is so loud that it'll creak the house, but yet if you're down on the first floor, you can't hear it at all. It's just like it's all engulfed in the master bedroom. And it's a creepy feeling, and when it happens, it's just like another thing to add to the list of everyday goings-ons. I was sitting in my computer room one day, and I was online, and all of a sudden I heard this voice say my name. And I have dogs, and usually if anybody comes, that the dogs are, right at the door, and they are more than eager to greet whoever's there. And I went to the back door and no one was there, and I went to the front door and no one was there. And I walked in through the room and just kind of leaned, collapsed against the wall, and it's like one more thing again to add to the list. One day, it was during the school year, I had went to the kitchen and was standing in the kitchen where I keep the cereal for my son, and I had saw what I thought was him walk by me into the dining room and then proceeded into the living room. And the way that my cupboard door was open, it was a definite form that had went through. So I hollered into the living room and asked him what kind of cereal he wanted, and no one answered. So I went into the living room and he wasn't there. I then proceeded into the bathroom to see if the door was closed, and he was not in the bathroom, and I then went upstairs and he was still laying in bed sleeping, and there was no one else in the house at that time.
I've had Orpit on Sleepy Hollow Theater in the past. We've even joined them on some of their investigations. The one thing that impressed me about this group is that they actually meticulously attempt to debunk their own findings. The paranormal investigation team has not once attempted to sensationalize any of their evidence to date. And tonight, we'll see some startling evidence recovered from this home. We'll hear from Ryan Ashbaugh from Orpit, then watch a truly haunting finding. What you're about to see cannot be explained. Are you about to see an actual ghost captured on film? Let's watch together, and you decide.